Good morning, everybody. The sun is shining. It's a perfect day. The temperature is amazing. And after being cooped up inside my house, hiding from the rain for several days, and getting a lot of stuff done in the house, I'm excited to be outside to power on with a bunch of stuff I want to get done in my garden and beyond. I've got some little road trips planned for this video. I'm going to go down to my friend Sinead's place, take a look at her trees that were doing very badly the last time I showed them, so I'm curious to see if the rain has perked them up. And then we're going to go further afield to my friend Sancha's place. She recently closed on her land and she has a forest. So we're going to go check out the forest, and I'm going to see if there's any pine that's on the ground that I can chop up for firewood, and just have a little look around, because it's really cool that she has a woodland. By her having a woodland, it sort of means that I also have a woodland, which I'll explain later in the video. But I've got a few things to do first on my own land, so let's get started. But before I get to work in the garden, I forgot that I haven't actually peered underneath this tarp for quite some time. It's been about 2 weeks of crappy weather, and I am definitely a fair weather swimmer, so the little octopus has been under there doing its chlorine-y thing for a while. You can see my ring is still inflated and there's some manky water that's accumulated on the tarp. So I'm going to revisit this as soon as I finish up with the garden stuff, and I'm very curious to see what lurks beneath. This is looking a little algae-y as usual. I've got my little overflow here, which I didn't have last year, so all this water used to just flood everywhere and it was a mess. So that's a nice new addition to the operation, which I like. And for now, I'm gonna need these things, and we're gonna go visit the comfrey tea that I made several weeks ago, load up on some stinky comfrey tea, and put it onto my chili peppers. So this stuff has been brewing away for about 2 months now, which is definitely overkill. I think about 5 weeks is fine. It's very, very smelly, and basically what it is a bunch of comfrey leaves that I harvested a while ago and stuck in water. And it makes something called comfrey tea, which is a wonderful natural fertilizer that I'm gonna put on my chili pepper plants, because I've had some peppers from them, but there's definitely a whole new round of flowering happening. And I've heard that comfrey tea is something that they really like. So I think I've heard you do kind of a 5-to-1 or 10-to-1 comfrey tea to water mix. So that's obviously not a very accurate measurement. So I'm just gonna do a couple of yogurt pots and then fill this up the rest of the way with water. It's all foamy and smelly and gross, and I'll prune the peppers as I go. So I must admit, I don't really know much about the world of pruning stuff. I might have missed the boat. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this now. But I just feel like it's super bushy, and I'd rather try to thin it out a bit so I can get a bit more airflow between the branches without chopping off any flowers, of course. I don't know if this is going to harm the plants. I don't know if it's going to mean that I get fewer peppers. Like maybe it'll put a strain on the pepper making process. I really don't know. But I guess it just sort of feels like it's the right thing to do. There's not a lot of space in here, and yeah, I know that airflow is important for other plants, so I assume it is for this as well. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna chop away some of these branches that are crossing down here, and I'm hoping for a bumper crop at the end of the season, because I haven't had too many peppers off these plants so far. I've maybe made about 10 jars of jalapenos, pickled jalapenos, and I trade those with people and I can sell them as well. So I really want to have as many of those as possible. And next year I'll probably ramp up production even more, because I do have at least 3 people that I can definitely trade or sell to. And if I already have the customer base, I might as well try to fill that. So Definitely gonna go big on the jalapenos next year. So I'm just gonna carry on pruning the jalapenos, watering them with a disgusting comfrey tea, and I'll see you again when I'm done that and ready to move on to the next job. Hello, sir. Let's go to your spot over here by the sunflowers. Come on. Come on, there you go. There you go. You enjoy your meal. I'm gonna catch you very soon. I know. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Okay, I'm done with the peppers. I'm done with the comfrey water stuff. I've done all my pepper plants. I've done my lime tree, my mango tree, the kiwi vines, basically everything I love the most. Got some comfrey juices. And it's amazing how quickly the comfrey grows back. And I have whole new bundles ready to be harvested off at the base and put into a bucket to make more tea. I'm going to be planting trees in November, and I would love to have it ready for then. So I'll probably do that job in the coming days. I've also weeded a whole bunch of stuff around the garden. The lining of the paths has really helped with the weeds on the paths, but they tend to sneak around, and I've pulled out a whole bunch of those. I've also snipped the peppers to the best of my abilities. It's difficult to do because I'm really afraid I'm just gonna accidentally lop off an entire branch with a whole bunch of pepper flowers on it, which would make me extremely sad. It's kind of a jungle in the middle of the plant, so I've done my best to thin out the middle parts, take any branches off that are crossing over that don't have any flowers on them, and take away a few leaves here and there as well. I've also spent some time flipping the compost so that all the branchy, twiggy things end up in one side of the compost bin, and the other two bays will be compost that I can use a lot more quickly. After lunch, I'm going to tackle this crazy tomato plant that's gotten out of control. I'm going to take a walk down to Sinead's place and Sancha's place to visit our collective woodland, and I'll probably continue pulling the weeds behind me just here. There's a whole bunch that have sprung up there that I'd love to get rid of as well. But now I'm gonna have some lunch. Let's go take a look at this amazing basil plant that I have. I'm gonna pick some tomatoes and I'm gonna make a salad. So I think all of my tomato plants really do need trimming down, but I'm kind of obsessed with this basil. Look at the size of the leaves on this thing. It's amazing. So I'm gonna make myself a nice caprese salad. Caprese? Caprese? Who knows? I know there's some tomatoes in here. These lovely yellow ones. Yes. In the jungle. One of the downsides with using comfrey tea is now everything smells very nasty. But it's for a good cause. Let's put some of these guys in. So I'm gonna continue picking tomatoes, and then I'm gonna make myself a salad, have some lunch, have a break, and get back to it in the afternoon. But before I go eat, check out this guy. How cool is that? Most of the other sunflowers look like they've been picked over by the birds, but this guy remains, and I'm excited to harvest his face. These guys aren't looking quite as happy. All right, see you later. Ooh, and I forgot, we'll also be taking a peek underneath there this afternoon as well, so I still have a busy day ahead of me. Come here. I know, hi. What's happening, dudes? Do you guys want to come for a walk with me? I'm going for a walk. Exactly. You can come along if you want to. Let's go. It's a beautiful day for a walk, guys. Come on. Follow me. All right. It's quite hard to focus when I'm trying to not trip over this cat. So I'm going to go down to... Oh, hello, Mikey. This is kind of adorable, actually. I'm going to go down for a walk to Sancha's place. Sancha is a friend of Sinead and mine's, who we've known for a while. Sinead's known her for about 20 years, and I've known Sinead for about 15 years. And yeah, we are now neighbors. So when I first came here, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, 2017, I was hoping that Sinead would buy land with me. She came in 2018 to volunteer at Kila yoga farm, and I was really kind of angling for us going in together on a piece of land, but she wasn't ready. She was interested, but it wasn't her time. So off she went into the world, did some work overseas, and I guess last year the time was right. A place became available down at the bottom of my land, and she bought it. Basically, kind of agreed to buy it or decided to buy it without really even looking at it. But she came over to take a look, and to be honest, I think her mind was sort of already made up. And then another piece of property came available for sale, and we put the word out to Sancha, and she did the same thing. She was really, really keen. She came for a look and decided pretty much straight away to snap it up. Hello there. I don't think I've seen you down this far before. You're on a big adventure. Where's your brother? Your brother-to-be. So her place has loads and loads of grapevines, which is where I picked the vines for the wine that I processed recently with some friends. And it's got a woodland. So up there, it's sort of a pine forest, and Sinead and I are very, very keen to manage it and to try to manage it back into more of a native forest. Are you gonna come into the forest as well? It seems really far for you. I don't want you to get lost. All right, so to the forest. I don't exactly remember how to get into the forest. The previous owner cut this really, really cool path, but it's probably quite overgrown by now. So let's see if I can bushwhack my way through. Is that it over there, or is that it over there? Let's go this way. Ooh, she's got a few olives on her trees as well. So we'll likely combine efforts on our olive harvest. They're going to be here in early November, so that'll be some fun times. Where am I going? This doesn't seem right. Does that seem like a path over there? What do you think? I don't know if this is a good spot for you. It's quite long grass. Ooh, lots of grapes I missed. Yeah, it's over there. Okay. Okay, let's go. This is apparently a little riverbed. Ah, brambles. Ah! Ah, I know. I know. Where are you? Okay, this is a bit of an adventure. All right. Yes, okay. This is not the best. There's a massive bramble here, and these things, they will mess you up. So I possibly should have brought some tools. I will use my tripod. Oh, easy for you, huh? Just go under. Ouch. Okay, so let's see. This is probably not very wise. These things are terrible. Can I go under? I'm going under. I'm doing like the cat, and I'm gonna try to go under this thing. I already know this is a horrible idea. I already know in my heart that this is gonna end in bloodshed and tears. Yeah. Lead the way, little guy. Oh, uh-oh. Ouch. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Get out of my way. Watch out. Ooh. Ah. Ouch. I don't know. They're kind of everywhere. I don't think this was wise. Is that one as well? I guess if I stay on my hands and knees. This isn't what I had in mind when I was going to the woodlands. Ouch. Ow. I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the brambles. Ah, armpit and back, armpit and back. Ouch. Ow, thumb. Okay. I've made a horrible error in judgment. Oh. I'm really lucky not to have any brambles on my land. Okay, I can see the end is near. Smooth. And unfortunately, there's another one right in front of me, and there's currently one stuck into my hand. Okay, I'm gonna go over this one. Under was not a good move. You know, woodlands, this sounds so romantic when you just think about them like a lovely forest, but introduce some brambles into the mix, and it's kind of hell. I really should have brought some gloves and some snippers. There's more up there. These guys. Uh-oh. What am I even in right now? I thought it was a grapevine. It's not a grapevine. It's a partial grapevine. Okay. Ow. Oh. Oh God. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. Am I even on a path? All right. Do I go under you or do I go over you? I'm gonna move you. Ouch. Jesus. Okay, a nice little archway of brambles. And then this guy, I think I can go under. Okay. Mikey seems to think this is a path. This is much better. Maybe that wasn't even a path I was on. Maybe I made a horrible mistake from the beginning. What do you think? Lead the way to the woodland, cats. And this is the stuff I was hoping to chop up to use as firewood, although it's probably more likely to be sort of fire starter than that. Pine needles are also another amazing thing for starting fires. So once I actually clear a path to here that's not treacherous and dangerous and painful, I'll come back and start taking bags of pine needles and bags of kindling and stuff back with me. Yeah, it's pretty cool in here. Come here. You're far away from home. You have a lot of trust in me to follow me all this way. Don't lose me on the way back, because I might need you to help set me free from the brambles. Yeah, so I think it's just so lovely in here. It's just something different to what I have at my place. And I can see us thinning out the pine trees, using them for either firewood or maybe building if they're larger. Keeping a few, but trying to reforest with native trees. There are lots of native trees growing around in the undergrowth, but they don't really get enough light to be able to shoot up. So I know Sinead is very interested in this kind of thing, and I am as well. I think managing the woodland and reforesting it with native stuff is something that she and I will both get behind, and I'm sure Sancha, who actually owns the woodland, would also be on board with that as well. Our idea is basically to try to share resources, try to help each other out. I love the autonomy that we have by having our own pieces of property, but I also love the fact that we can kind of be a little de facto community as well. So it's not like we've all bought in together, because that comes with a lot of complications. But if you have your own piece of land, your own autonomy, your own space to do what you want on that piece of property, then coming together I think can be a little less prone to conflict. So I can't imagine us getting in conflict, of course. These are good friends of mine, but one never knows, and I think it's good to try to think about these things, and I'm really, really happy with the setup I think we're gonna have with what we're gonna build, and we're all very excited for the future. Because as awesome as it is to have my own little place, have my own space, and do my own thing, I am kind of also interested in community, and oftentimes if you can share something with a friend, it's just a little bit better. What do you think? He agrees. I don't know if this is the same path I came in on, but let's give it a try. You can see quite clearly from here the damage from the fires. Yeah, so green over there, and then in this light it's quite obvious sort of what was burned. Uh-oh. So close. Okay, that was ridiculous and painful. Not the lovely stroll I was counting on. And I'm not literally out of the woods yet. I see a couple more brambles up ahead. Or do I? Ah! Yep, I found it. It's these like old dried ones that don't look like brambles, but they are. Ah! Ah! Oh, it's fastened itself onto my leg. Oh God. All right. Okay, so my intention was to come back down here tomorrow with my little mini chainsaw, my clippers, and some bags, and I was gonna chop up some kindling, get it all ready for the winter, but no, that is not a one-person job. Clearing the path will be a mission by itself, so I'm gonna save that little mission for early November when Sinead and Sancho are here, and we can tackle it all together as a team. So that was a bit more adventurous than I was counting on, but I'm happy I went and took a look, and I do really love the woodland. I love having a forest in the family. Come! Come on, let's go. Let's go look at Sinead's trees. Follow me. Yeah, here's another good view of the contrast between the colors of the burnt part of the mountain and the unburnt part of the mountain. So the fire swept all the way from over there. There's I think a mast, communications mast at the top of the hill, and it swept all the way across this way and then around a bend that we can't see right now. So yeah, it was pretty big and pretty scary. And now we're at Sinead's, just a short walk away from Sancho's and a very short walk away from mine, which is just right there to the bottom of my land. So let's go see how her beleaguered trees are doing. They look completely different. They look so happy. And this one seems much happier too. I don't know if this is, I don't know if it's a cherry tree, maybe? I don't really know. I'm not massively up on my trees. Ew, this one has some wild shoots growing out of it that I should trim off, but it has some, I think they're lemons actually. I don't think this is a lime tree. So, despite neglect, it's making some fruit, which is pretty cool. I guess that's another cherry. Whatever these three are, they're all the same. I don't really know what this kind is, but it seems to be perking up a bit. And this tree, I think it's some kind of an apple tree, maybe a wild apple tree of some sort, but check it out. It's got like this crazy split in the trunk, and somehow it's still existing, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what that used to be. Let's go home. Come on. Okay, and here we are back on my land, so you can see how close the three of us are to each other. It's surprisingly hot out here. It's quite humid and sticky. I'm feeling very disheveled from my war with the brambles, so I'm probably gonna chill out for a while until it gets a little cooler. Or maybe now is a good time to uncover the tarp from the pool and see what's happening in there. I'm definitely way too wimpy to go in, but perhaps I'll give myself a little splash in the face, depending on what it looks like underneath there. Wow, so it's still really, really clear under here, which I'm very impressed with. Obviously there's bits floating around inside of it, but there's no sign of any algae, which is very, very cool. So that little octopus thing, wherever it is definitely doing its job. Uh-oh. Okay, so the water wants to mix in with all the water that was up on top, but that's okay. And this side over here looks relatively algae-free as well. It really does seem like the problem is over in this tank where the sun hits it. So this little octopus has done its job. You can come out now, little guy. Thank you for your service, but the season is over. I'm too much of a wimp to go in unless it's really, really hot outside. But you've done well. But even though the super hot swimming pool weather might be behind us here in Central Portugal, that doesn't mean I can't still plan for my future patio area, swimming pool setup, and all of the awesome things that I want to have down here in this hangout area. And one of those things is going to be a cool swimming pool lights. I was gifted this nifty little thing by the folks at LyLmLe, and it's basically a remote control Bluetooth swimming pool light that makes everything in there a lot more interesting when the sun goes down. One thing to highlight is that it's got this really cool magnet system. So all you need to do is fasten this part on with the glue that it comes with onto the side of your pool, and then you can just magnet this on to that once you do. I'm not going to fasten this on to my pool just yet because I don't know exactly where I want this thing to be located in the pool. So what I'm going to do is another option where you can just kind of hang it down, sort of like a lanyard from the wire into the pool. And because it's obviously totally waterproof, it gets submerged in the water and does all kinds of funky things with the lighting system it has. So I'm going to have a read of the instruction manual and see what's what, see what cool features it has, and then give this thing a whirl. It looks pretty cool. I have, like I said, lots of plans for down here, and I think having awesome lights coming from within the swimming pool will really complement other lighting I plan to have around here. And I think that when my parents come in April, my dad's going to tackle building a deck over top of part of this area of the pool. I think that'd be pretty cool to have. And then I have all kinds of plans for this side of the hangout space as well, including a barbecue, a little herb garden, and a whole bunch of other things. So I'm gonna take a break, try to recover from the trauma of my relaxed walk in the woods that was not relaxed at all, and have a read of this. Oh, hello there. Oh no, I thought we were friends. Hi. Yeah, come here. Come here, hello. Hello. I'm gonna trap you in a couple days and take you to the vet. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. All right, onward. What? Lead the way. Do you want some dinner? Okay, I'll get you some dinner. Here you go, little friends. Din-dins. Come on. Yum, yum. Yeah. Okay. Go on. You eat up. Okay, time for some evening reading. So I've had a read of the manual, and this thing looks like it's going to be incredibly easy to use. The manual is quite thick, and that's because it comes in 5 languages: English, German, French, Spanish, and Italian. So it makes it seem a little bit more intimidating than it actually is. But I do have some fiddling around with the app to do, so I'm going to see what that's capable of. And then when night falls, I'll be back to see what this thing can do. And I think I'm going to do this from my hammock because I have spent way too much time inside these past few days, and it's a gorgeous evening, and I haven't spent nearly enough time in my hammock. It's probably hard to see in the light, but this thing allows you to change the lights. And could even sync it to music. Let's do a little bit of happy birthday. Dee, dee. What else can this thing do? Microphone. Okay. So I'm talking into the microphone, and the light is lighting up every time I speak. It's also got a schedule, so I think I can put it on a timer. And it's basically got any color of the rainbow that you could possibly want to use. So I'm kind of impressed with this. It's pretty cool, actually. And it will be a very nice addition to what I'm hoping is going to be a really beautiful area down by my pool. But we can't really see what this thing can do until we see it underwater in the pool. So I'm going to chill out in the hammock for a little while, take a break, and when the sun goes down, we'll give this thing a whirl. But for now, I'm going to have a little snooze because it's been a tiring day. What are you looking at, little dude? You look like you're deep in contemplation. Are you waiting to see the light show? Soon. Just needs to get a little darker. Okay, I think it's adequately dark for a little bit of a swimming pool light show. Are you ready? Let's go. So we don't need this in here. You can be retired for the season. So I wonder if green isn't quite the best color. It looks a little swampy in there. Let's switch it up. Bit of red, bit of purple. Let's go back to happy birthday. I love this thing. It's ridiculous and yet wonderful. Classic. So I'm a big fan of this thing. It's super easy to use. I haven't even explored all the features, but the app has lots of different things you can do with it. I especially like the microphone feature. It lights up every time I speak, and just a little bit earlier the church bells were going off, and it was going nuts. It loves it. Dog barks, whatever. The thing has a mind of its own, and I think it's hilarious and very entertaining. So I'll be busting this thing out next year plenty of times. I plan on having some pool parties. I plan on sitting in this thing in the evening, and I think it's really nice to have a light in the pool, especially when I don't have any lights yet in the surrounding area. You can get the details about the light by following the link below, including a discount code. So let's take it out with a little tune. Good morning, everybody. It's actually been 2 days since the swimming pool light show, and I've been hard at work yesterday and this morning on a whole bunch of things. I've chopped most of the firewood and stacked it, and I've also made a little firewood store area up beside the house. I've been to Sinead's place. There's a whole bunch of small fig branches in her barn, and I've moved up a couple buckets of those. I chopped a whole bunch of comfrey down again and put another batch of comfrey tea on brew. I've weeded a lot of the garden and covered the weediest section with a tarp to hopefully prevent it going absolutely bonkers over the winter. And now I think I'm ready to tackle that monster tomato plant. I truly don't even know where to start with this thing. It always makes me laugh how you start the gardening season with all these amazing intentions, and then as the months tick by, everything just goes to crap. At some point, this tomato plant was a beautiful single shoot with a bunch of branches, and I was very diligently snipping off the suckers as it grew and kept it under control, and it was wonderful. And now it has become this. And I really don't even know where the tomato plant is. I don't know if this is one plant, I don't know if it's many. So I'm just gonna take these guys, got the serious tool out, and I'm going in. There's so many tomatoes on here, and I don't wanna chop off the branches that have loads and loads of fruit on them. I wonder if I should just untangle this first. This is craziness. I mean, what is even happening in this part? It's fused together. All these tomatoes down here though. Okay, I'm gonna put the mega clipper tool away for a while. And I'm going to take the gentle approach of trying to tease through what the heck is happening under here. So let me do a little bit of detangling, and I'll check back in again very soon. I've been untangling, I've been clipping, and this place is still a disaster. I have liberated my green pepper plants, which is amazing, and I found these two guys, which I think is so cool. And I'm trying my best to keep the plant that has these delicious yellow tomatoes on it, but it's quite difficult to figure out which plant that actually is. I've also harvested a few red tomatoes, and because I've been snipping with reckless abandon, I'm gonna have loads and loads of green tomatoes, and I've heard that you can pickle green tomatoes. So I'm gonna look up a recipe for that, but if anyone knows what to do with an absolute crap load of green tomatoes, please do send me a recipe. So I'm going to carry on working on this abomination for a while. I'll close the video out with an after shot of the progress, but I'm going to say bye from this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I feel like it's been a nice mix of things. I enjoyed taking you to my friends' places, and I'm very excited for the future of what the three of us are going to accomplish together. And I think there'll be lots of fun content on this channel as well. They're both coming in early November for about 10 days, and I think we'll have lots of fun, and I'm excited to share that with you. Also, Orange Cat is going to the vet, hopefully tomorrow if I can catch him. So if all goes well, I'll be updating in the next video. But if you don't want to wait that long, I actually update quite regularly on my Instagram, and I'll make sure to put an update on there for anyone that's wondering what's up with Orange Cat, whether he's healthy. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's okay with him. So you can check out a link to my Instagram up here somewhere. Other than that, it's a gorgeous day. I'm excited to spend the rest of the day in the garden doing lots of little things here and there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.